So what are malware binaries, or what are binaries in general? So usually when a file is opened or when a file runs, it does not run on its own. So there are drivers, there are DLLs running. For example, once you open an Excel file, there will be DLLs running in the background, and the Excel file might need all some other files to function properly. So for example, if you are running a MP4 file, it will need drivers and DLLs that give um, playback and rendering and stuff like that, and even some audio drivers and stuff. So but same way, once a malware runs, it needs some DLLs, and to extract these DLLs we'll be taking a look at a tool called DIE. So in Flare they keep on updating new tools, and you have to enter the same command that we use to install Flare. So once you enter the same command in PowerShell, you will get some updates, and we are ready to go. Till now you have understood lots of things, and I'm really happy that you are learning and you haven't yet left the course and kept the course aside, because this is quite hard course and it's something that is not that interesting, but has lots of knowledge. So the die is basically detect it easy tool. The name is detect it easy. Die is not something related to that, but the name of the tool is detect it easy. So what you have to do is you have to go and select a file, and you will have tons of information. Now what information we get, we'll just take a look at in a second. So there are some options over here. In scan tab we have the file type, that is PEP, is basically 4A5D format, that is an executable file. And then we have the size. So most of the time an MP4 file that has malware will have 4D5A format, and even if in x86 assembly you will see the same, that it is an 4D5A format. And inside entropy you will notice that there are sections divided. So the first section is for text, then we have data, and then we have resources. And this is basically the hierarchy. And in resources we have the icon of the virus or the software that we are analyzing. We get tons of information like who is the developer and stuff. If the malware is not signed, you won't get any information, but in imports you will get the DLLs that the malware is using. So in previous video we saw only DBG, but that was like too messy. But this is like graphical representation of the same data, and this is quite easy to understand, and it's for GUI for kids who don't understand only DBG, and it's nothing problematic, but it's for beginners and you can use it. Even I use it on the go. For example, if I have to scan a file on the go, I use this tool. I don't want to run only DBG and play around with the code and stuff. So you can get signature of the file, and then there is some information on how to use. You can visit the page, you can Google detect it easy and learn more things about it. So that was it, and it's quite important to find which language is used to develop the malware and how the malware works. So in the next video we'll talk about that.